A lot of very smart coaches and consultants fear the same thing. They fear that after launch week, their book will disappear into the internet like everyone else's. And you know what? Honestly, most do.
Pour a cup of clarity, sip a spark of insight. Coffee with Karma, your morning feels just right.
If your entire strategy depends on launch week excitement, you are building on borrowed momentum because a launch makes a spike and then it drops. It's the continued marketing after that keeps the spike at a higher drop off. Rather than down here, it's going to drop off up here. The authors who create lasting authority think about their book very differently from the very start. And in today's episode of Coffee with Karma, I'm going to walk through 5 positioning shifts that change how your book works for your business long after release day. Hi, my name is Carma Spence, and I help established experts write the right book so that they avoid writing the wrong book that sits there on digital shelves collecting digital dust. No, because they write the right book, it brings in their ideal clients. It brings in speaking opportunities and it brings in juicy, wonderful partnerships. If you are watching this video on YouTube, please like this video, comment below, share it with your colleagues, and subscribe to my channel so that the YouTube algorithm and other experts like you who want to grow their business with books can find this content and learn all the cool stuff that I share in Coffee with Karma and my other one-off videos. So let's get to those 5 positioning shifts. So the first one is a book launch is not an event, it is a moment in an authority system. What do I mean by this? So yes, a launch week can be an event, but it's so much more. When you plan out your book correctly, when you plan it before you write it, you continue making it strategic tweaks while you're writing it, and you're marketing that book that's coming out, that's not even finished yet, the whole way, that launch becomes just a moment, a very important moment, yes, a moment in an entire authority system. Because if the book is going to attract ideal clients, ideal speaking opportunities, ideal partners, it needs to be part of a larger system. It can't be just, oh, here's the book, here's the launch, yay, done. That, I mean, that can do something, but isn't it better if it continues to work over time? At least that's my thought, and I'm sticking with it. So the launch becomes just part of the plan. It's the spike that gets the rest of the marketing momentum going. Number 2, your book is an entry point, not a final product. I've met so many authors that think of, here's the book, it's a product that I sell, and there you go. They don't think of it as an integral part of their business. But again, if you write the right book, it becomes the container for your frameworks, your best thinking. And if you're like most experts, you probably have a whole bunch of frameworks and deep thinking that could make multiple books because the right book has one promise, one solution, one transformation. One. Because if you've got more, that becomes book 2, 3, and 4. Your book needs to be an entry point into a specific part of your overall transformation that you lead your clients to. And I've talked about this before, but your customer transformation roadmap is they come to you with this problem. And if they go through the entire transformation, they leave you a completely transformed person, business, whatever it is that you do. And the book solves one milestone along that roadmap. One, because people come to you at these different, some people come to you at the beginning, but a lot of people come to you somewhere in the middle. So if you can write a book for each of those milestones, then you are more likely to get more ideal clients coming into your business at the point that they need you. Again, the book isn't the final product. It is a container for a framework, a piece of thought leadership. It is an entry point into your business, and it is a part of your overall business ecosystem. Number three, your ideal client buys certainty, not information. Now, I fell into this trap in my earlier books so much. I share a lot of information. I'm really good at sharing information. I love sharing information, but that isn't what gets you clients. What gets you clients is a transformation. So, what is the transformation your book provides? For example, in It All Starts with an Idea, the transformation a reader experiences is they go from, I don't know what is the right book, to now I know exactly what book to write. That is probably the main transformation people come to me for because it's that first step that knocks most people out of the game because they stall, they become a deer in the book idea headlights. They freeze. So, what transformation can you lead your readers through? And you don't want to do the full you want one mini transformation that maps to one of the milestones in your client transformation roadmap. Now, if you need help with that client transformation roadmap, just let me know. I have a simple AI tool that asks you a bunch of questions and then helps you map it out, and then you can brainstorm it from there. It does not give you the answer, just saying. I mean, it can, I suppose, but if you're going to depend on just AI telling you, serving everything up to you on a platter, maybe you're not as much of a thought leader as you thought. I will put the link in the show notes, or you can DM me and ask for it. But it's a cool little tool that helps you map out your client transformation roadmap. Number four, the strongest launches start months before release day. If you get my book, Serve Up Your Book, I talk about the 5 stages of book marketing. Stage one starts like when you've got the idea and you start. I've been talking about my next 2 books for a while. My next 2 books are Author Ignition, which is all about the ethical use of AI, and The Author Switch, which is all about overcoming creative blocks. I haven't even written them yet. I'm still in the research phase, but I talk about them so that people become aware. It becomes a background so that when I start going then that's phase one, right? Phase two is you're sharing your writing journey. Phase three is you're publishing and you're getting that ready to launch. And so that's where you start getting your pre-sales. And then there's launch week, and then there's market until the book is irrelevant to your business. Those are the 5 stages. You are marketing your book from the moment you birth the idea. That's why launch is actually, there's a whole big on ramp to launch. You don't just suddenly go, hello, I'm launching. If you do that, you're not going to have as good a launch. And honestly, and I've seen this happens a lot, especially to influencers and celebrities, because they don't think I need to be talking about my book all this time. They think my book comes out, I will announce it, and my 50 million followers will instantly buy, and they sell 200 copies. If that. That's not how book marketing works. It just isn't. And if you are treating it that way, you will be up for a very rude awakening. Very few people can just cold launch a book and have it sell well. And honestly, for entrepreneurial authors, the ones who are writing their book to grow their business, it won't work at all. They aren't focusing on the sales. They're focusing on the lead magnet aspect of the book. Number 5, thought leadership beats best-selling author vanity metrics. Okay, it is cool to say best-selling author. That book there has been a bestseller multiple times. And the other one was also a bestseller on Amazon. I still dream of New York Times bestseller. Can't dream of USA Today bestseller anymore because that doesn't exist. But honestly, those are vanity metrics. You can have a bestseller and it doesn't do what you need it to do. It's not important. In fact, it's not important to have a lot of sales. It's important to have a lot of the right sales. That means your book is attracting the right readers who read the book and hire you. That's what you're going for. And you know what? You don't even have to sell the book to make it do that. You can give it away. Best-selling authors, awesome. It feels good. And yes, you might want to have that happen for your book at some point in time. It can happen the first time you launch it. It can happen years later. Public Speaking Superpowers was a number 2 bestseller when it first launched because number 1 bestseller was a woman with her own TV show. Couldn't compete with that. So a few years later, I ran another bestseller campaign and became bestseller in 5 categories. Bestseller is not that hard with a little help, and it's not that meaningful for business. It's meaningful, but not meaningful, if you get my drift. Those are the 5 positioning shifts. If you can change your belief to believing what I just talked about for the last few minutes, you will rock your next book's world. In my next video, I'm going to be talking about 3 steps to a smarter book launch strategy. These 3 steps will help you implement what I talked about in today's video. Until then, this is Carma Spence saying, ciao for now.